Howdy, welcome back to a fresh new episode on the Wholesome Rave podcast. This episode, I'm going to be spilling tea and I'm basically going to be dissecting an aspect of the African diaspora and African community in general. And any of these opinions that I talk about in these videos is solely my opinion and in no way trying to bash anybody. I had a lot of back and forth about talking on this topic. This word has been associated with a lot of traveling, and I feel like I need to dive a little bit more from my personal experience from traveling or living outside of my own country. And the reason I'm making this video is because I feel like there are a lot of Africans that are kind of interested in this but are too scared to talk about it, which is why I'm spilling the tea on this whole Japa syndrome. So what does this Japa syndrome basically mean? I'll use Google to give you a literal meaning of what I'm trying to say because it's on Google, guys. Okay, so Google defines the Japa syndrome as something which represents a phenomenon of young Nigerians seeking better opportunities abroad. It basically refers to the whole traveling syndrome that a lot of Nigerians are faced with. This involves Nigerians traveling to another different country with the hopes of having a better or higher standard of living, or just in general making more money or earning more income and having a good life. But the problem with this syndrome is everything that I'm going to be talking about in this video. So I'm gonna start off this entire video by first discussing this whole ideology behind a lot of Nigerians feeling like once they leave the country they have instant access to a better life or standard of living. And this to me doesn't make sense at all because I don't have a problem with the whole Japa syndrome. The only thing that I find very disturbing is how some people, they are caught up in this idea of finding a better life or having a better standard of living once they leave the country. Even if you move from one country to another, you are still faced with almost probably the same challenge as someone who's living from one state to another, and that includes some sense of loneliness, having a less sense of belonging, and just generally a change of scenery and a change in a lot of your habits as well. So moving to a different country doesn't necessarily mean that once you travel to this country you're gonna get everything that you never found back in your hometown. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't really work like that. So that's really one of my problems with this whole Japa syndrome. The second thing that I wanted to bring to limelight is the whole idea of people coming into the country without an actual plan for how you want to earn an income, how you intend to live your life in general. I find that a lot of Africans, I'm not trying to generalize, I know that there are a lot of people who take their time to do some research and they come through the best means possible for their survival, but there are still a lot of people that come in without properly doing their research. For the most part, if you plan on moving to any country, you should have kind of an idea of how you intend to earn money. Now these days there are a lot of ways you can earn money, from digital marketing to selling digital products online. You can definitely find ways to do this, creating a mini course. I have a mini course in my description box in case you want it and you want to get started on building a strong community for your business. So you definitely want to click the link and download it for yourself. The things which I just talked about so far, I feel is really necessary for a lot of people coming in to this country or moving from Africa to any part of Asia. You want to understand that as a black person, you are completely different. And I'm not saying this in a bad way, but I'm saying that if you're coming into a country to, especially for work, and you're trying to like get into their workspace, you would have to do more to prove yourself as capable of holding this position. So you should be able to defend the skill sets that you have, the knowledge that you have, and the experience that you have gained. And if you're someone who doesn't have like any work background or any of that stuff, I definitely recommend you start building one for yourself. You just need to learn a high income skill set. You can check out my video. I made this video and it explains all about like the high income skill sets you can start learning today in order to earn pretty decent amount of income, or just in general build a business. So click the link and watch this video if you don't have any idea. Let me just head right into like my final thoughts on the Japa syndrome. It's okay to leave the country if you feel like you're completely exhausted and you feel like your environment is not enabling enough. I definitely think the best option for you is to travel out. Just keep your expectations to a minimum. Having way too much expectations and having less skill sets or less internal ability to like just maintain a positive attitude towards life, if that's not there, then everything else doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you travel from one country to another, you're still going to face difficulties navigating all of these challenges that you come across along the way. So you need to enlighten yourself. You need to like open your mindset to knowing that there is actually more on the outside, and that doesn't just involve you having way too much expectation. That involves some work also, personally, within yourself, your character, and even your skill sets, because now everybody needs a skill set to survive. Like many Africans feel like they need to have like a store, a physical store, or have like, now these days people are building businesses online. A lot of Africans in diaspora are waiting to like kind of like go back home and then live that dream life. To be very honest with you, there are a lot of Africans that are not even going to experience that. I get like overwhelmed when I go online and see a lot of all these challenges most people, not just African but like Asian, like people who leave their hometown, a lot of things go on like that's not posted on social media, and that's the hard reality of life. Get rid of all these high expectations. Understand that everything in life is through different phases. Live your life to the fullest right now. I wanted to create some level of awareness about like what to expect and what not to expect. That's pretty much it for this episode. If you enjoyed watching this, definitely hit the like button, make sure to subscribe. So let me know in the comment section, and thank you very much for watching through to the end. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.